Decided to go watch Charlie Kirk between my classes, so.
My name's Paris. I just wanted to come and watch what I thought would be a civil conversation, and it turned completely different.
What did you see?
I looked down when it happened, but...
So basically, I heard a loud bang, which I figured a shot would be a little bit louder, but I just saw it hit him in the chest, and then all of a sudden just tons of blood gushing right out where his heart is, and then he like fell over and slumped down, and everybody got down and was screaming, and then we all ran.
Can you describe just, did he appear to be moving afterward, or what?
Not at all. I personally believe he was dead on impact.
Oh my goodness. What happened after that? What did you see?
Everyone got down. Everyone was so scared, and I just grabbed her, and my boss was with us, which is her mom. She was like, run, and we finally got up and followed the crowd, and I just kept holding her. I don't even have my shoes on. I left my keys, and everyone's just like scared. Like it's traumatizing. Like, you know, it scares. Like, I don't even want to go to school tomorrow, you know.
Yeah.
So
I agree with that statement.
Yeah, I'm scared to go to school, but...
You heard the one shot. Were there multiple shots, or...
I think just one shot straight into Charlie Kirk, and that was it. And I think they got him.
And did you see the person who fired the shot or anything like that?
No, I just knew that it came to the right of me and went just directly into his heart.
So. I got a picture of him.
Did you... What did you see as far as... I mean... Was the crowd, how was the crowd reacting to him? I mean, he is somewhat known for being provocative, but what was going on beforehand? What was he talking about?
So the first student got up and they were talking about religion, Mormonism, and Christianity, and the second student to get up was talking about transgenderism and how gun violence has been very frequent with that community, and that is when it happened. Pretty ironic.
Right after, during... Right on that topic.
Yeah, it's when he got shot in the heart.
Yeah.
What did you all see? You're joining us. What did you see?
Well, I was about to enter the building. I heard what I thought was a gunshot, and I hurried and took cover. And then I saw the students running out, and I saw her. She was panicking. I thought she was having a panic attack. So then I grabbed her, and we ran through the tunnel, and then just brought her to my car over here to get her to calm down. So, yeah.
You?
I was watching from pretty close up, and I heard a pop, and I thought, no, that nobody's shooting firecrackers, right? This is the middle of the day. And then I watched a fountain of blood come out of the side of his neck like a water fountain. And it was surreal. Everyone dropped, and I was like, where's the gunman? I don't see any gunman. And then I dropped, because I'm just a very logical thinker like that. And so, and then a friend of mine drove me over here, just barely dropped me off, but he got a picture of the gunman, and it's pretty embarrassing. He got his pants pulled down as they took him down, and he sent me a picture. He was wearing garment bottoms, or what looked like white knee shorts. Just, you know, Utah.
Obviously a volatile situation, and what was the crowd's reaction when all of this happened? You said you were standing there, you know, a little frozen, it sounds like. What was the crowd's reaction?
Everyone freaked out and screamed, and then after everyone was leaving, there was just a lot of confusion until the cops started making everyone leave, because people were still standing around and talking and in clusters, but the majority had run. And so, you know, after that, the police forced everyone in, and they started roping off the courtyard in yellow police tape. And then as we were walking through the hall, policemen with large... The campus was being shut down.
What did you all see with the police? Was there a police presence there from the beginning? You know, how did it unfold?
Yeah, so there definitely was a police presence there. I saw some on top of the balcony above and some below. And, of course, you have Kirk's own kind of bodyguards around. But I will definitely say we saw a lot more after the shooting, of course.
Of course. You said you may have seen something?
Well, I'm just saying Charlie Kirk is a hero.
All right? He is.
Absolutely.
Pray
He's
for
absolutely
him.
a hero.
We don't know if he's still alive.
Everybody in there was very concerned for him. And all I could think of was go towards Charlie, because I just want to know if he was okay, you know. a lot of people like him. He's a very courageous man.
What did you see? Can you just recap what you saw?
Yeah, I saw him just go over to the side, so everybody then dispersed and ran into the buildings or all over, but so I went toward Charlie, and then pretty soon they got somebody. The police arrested someone. They were dragging him all the way down. Older man, white hair, blue shirt, so I hope that was him. I hope they got him.
And you all are physically okay? I mean, I know what you experienced was certainly very traumatic, but you're physically unharmed?
Yeah, the man who, after they took him down, he yelled, "I'd do it again."
Wow.
I think his name's
George.
All right, we're going to send it back to you. We'll continue to talk to people who witnessed this and update you as.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
A poor man prayers,
every man bleeds.
but look how God made us.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. Yeah, I made a promise I'm never gonna lose again.
Under the Fair Use Act, these videos are for information and educational purposes, and I do not own the rights to any of these videos that are shown. All rights reserved to the original content creators.
Yo, what's going on? It's the N.G.L.A podcast, man. This your boy SL550, man. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe to the channel. I truly do appreciate it, man. Listen, bro. So I work overnight, so I was asleep, and I had my wife wake me up at a certain time because I wanted to go live and whatnot. And the first thing she told me when I woke up was they shot Charlie Kirk, and I'm like kind of like out of it a little bit because I just woke up, but I'm like Charlie Kirk, like Turning Point USA Charlie Kirk, and she like, yeah. I'm like, she actually showed me the video, man. I would not play that because it's whack, man. Shit corny, bro. But as you can see, Donald Trump made a post. That was a video that was, so the intro was the intro was obviously before we actually got the bad news that Charlie Kirk actually passed away. Donald Trump posted, the great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially me, and now he is no longer with us. Melania and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife, Erica, and family. Charlie, we love you. So that was Donald Trump. He made the post. Dang, what happened to this video? All right, let's go on the big screen. I don't know what happened to that video, but we gotta pull that up. But while I'm doing that, it's just so crazy, bro. Like, you just gotta be like, my whole thing is you gotta think. All it is, what? Because somebody has a different opinion than you, because Charlie Kirk don't view life the way you view it. So now you want to, you feel like, my thing is people genuinely, like my wife was telling me, 'cause she be on X a lot. And, I got to get in tune with X because, that's a major platform. But she said, man, I can't even like go on there because, you just got, of course you got, the retards who are happy that Charlie Kirk is dead. Like, just think about that, bro. Just think about how mentally ill you have to be to, wish this type of thing on anybody, bro. But because he is a conservative, because he supported Donald Trump, you think that this is justified when, everybody, like I just said, I was just excited yesterday because, I just started the channel, and not my last video, but the one before that, I got my first, 1K views on my video. And not only that, it had, you know, a, for me, for my size channel right now, only got about, I think, 60 some subscribers, nothing crazy. But for me, I was excited. I'm like, dang, I got like 45 comments. People was commenting on people's comments. It was like, you know, a conversation going on. And I'm like, okay, you know, I was excited. You know what I'm saying? Because uh it was my first 1K video, you know what I mean? And but anyway, my point of saying that was people are in the comments. A few people was in the comments. You know, I had mostly positive comments, but you know, there's the ones that's, you know, talking about Donald Trump being a fascist and a dictator. But these are all talking points from who? From the media. The media single-handedly, to me, I feel like, are the main part of the propaganda that's being put out towards people like Charlie Kirk and Donald Trump and everybody who just is conservative. You know what I'm saying? And this is come on, bro. This is ridiculous, man. You know, like I want to play this other video. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play this. This was actually let me make sure it's over here. This is crazy, man. So this was actually him before the shooting. You know, so let's just play this. Like this was him. This was Charlie Kirk. You know, see the energy, you know, just you know. Happy. All the support out there.
That's a lot of people, Utah, I'll tell you what. All right, we're going to get started, everybody. You know how it works. Question and answer. Also, thank you to Lane from R.I.P. That was great. Really appreciate it. And we're going to be here for a couple hours. Get comfortable. Bring the best libs that Utah has to offer.
See all them people that was there supporting Charlie Kirk. You know, so, you know, he posted that video and So obviously this was at the school and
Reporting live from Hyper's Club in
it's so
Atlanta
crazy,
for Hype Plus
bro.
News, I'm John.
We're gonna get into this video in a second, man, but you know, you can't even have it. You can't have a different opinion, bro. And it's so crazy because, you know, they're going to try to spin this in some way, shape, or form to say that, you know, it's all because we know listen. And I'm not saying all there's good Democrats, there's bad ones, there's good Republicans, there's bad ones. It's not even a Republican or a Democrat thing, but they're going to push this in the news and make the narrative. It's going to be them trying to convince everybody that he was not a Democrat. He actually voted for Trump. So, it's dumb stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the reasons why people do these type of things is either a hit, an actual professional hit. You know what I'm saying? And, I believe that they're trying to start some type of civil war, just cause listen, understand something, bro. Divide and conquer is the best, is one of the best tactics that have ever been using, since the beginning of time, bro. Divide and conquer. They want us divided, bro. You know, when you watch people like Charlie Kirk, when you watch people like Candace Owens, you never see, it's no hate. They don't hate Democrats because they're a conservative. They don't wish ill on Democrats because they're conservative. But, bro, I've seen it. I've seen videos of, I forget her name. I played a video of her before. I forget her channel. But she took a Democrat guy, a black guy, who was a Democrat and who was talking all of this racist, Republicans are racist. And this is, you got to understand, bro, the ideology, right, you're a human, husband, a father. That's a fact, bro. Like, just, it's sick, bro. It's mentally ill shit, bro. Because at the end of the day, we know that what Charlie Kirk stands for. What Turning Point USA stands for. Conservative, pro-life. Obviously, they are Christians, and they stand for certain principles. And all you see is him go to college universities and debate students and just have dialogue, just have conversation, because that's what it's about. Because at the end of the day, you have people out here who are quickly brainwashed and programmed to think certain things. And then you might have a guy like Charlie Kirk come along and he might show up at your school and you might be, focused on one ideology because that's what you've been programmed to think. And then a person like Charlie Kirk might have woken you up to not even just be conservative, but just open your eyes to other things, to be open, because that's what this is all about. You know what I'm saying? It's about having these tough conversations, and they make everything about things that really don't matter. And I'm going to get into this video with Ben Shapiro. He was on the Breakfast Club, and they were talking about abortion, and we're going to talk about that too. But it all boils down to what people are being programmed to think. And whoever did this was programmed to think that Charlie Kirk is a fascist. He's a Trump supporter. You've seen the hats with 47 on the table. So we know he's a Trump supporter. So anybody that's a Trump supporter is a fascist, a dictator. They like all of these things that just don't make any sense, bro. It don't make any sense, bro. I had people in the comments and they, saying the usual old talking points of, Donald Trump is a felon. Donald Trump lies. Donald Trump, because the video that, kind of got some traction. I was talking about Obama. And my whole point was to say that, I never said Donald Trump was perfect. But we have everybody was praising Obama as if he was this, great guy who did so much when he did nothing. And all I was saying was, at the minimum, open your eyes up to the fact that Donald Trump is at least doing, what he's supposed to do for Americans. There's nothing wrong with helping people abroad in other countries and being allies and trading and these different things. But it has to be America first. We're Americans. It is what it is. Just like every other country looks out for their best interests as a country. But people are just mentally sick, bro. And they taking this shit too far, bro. You know, they try to do the same thing to Donald Trump, bro. This is to cause and stoke fear into the hearts of people. You seen how scared them women were. They don't even want to go to school because they don't want this to happen to them. This is getting crazy, bro. You know, innocent children getting killed in school shootings. Just so many different things that are going on right now, bro. And it's like, for what? For what, man? I just don't get it, bro. Like, this man, like, his kids just lost their dad that quick. Over what? Over what? Like, really, you see, when things like this happen, you really gotta just be simple-minded. Just be simple and really think about this. And you gotta think, there are people out here that are happy that this happened to this man. A father. A husband. You know what I mean? A brother. An uncle. Taken for what? For what, bro? For what? Because he doesn't think like you? Because he's pro-life? I don't understand. It's nothing that can make me be like, you know, oh, I understand why this happened. Like, you know, this shit wild, bro. This shit wild, man. You know, somebody who's going to these colleges having, you know, tough conversations that most people don't want to have because they're scared to get canceled and all of these different things that have been going on when Democrats were in office. People getting canceled, can't speak their minds, can't say what they really want to say, can't say what they really believe, you know, can't quote scripture, whatever they, you know, it's just wild, bro. It's wild. It's wild, man. But, you know, the Shaitan, man, will, you know, he's gonna use people and to do his work, you know, and that's all this is. That's all it is. It's him using people to do his work. Because life is about negative and positive energy, man. We're filled with energy. Everything flows through energy. And you got negative energy and positive energy. Somebody like Charlie Kirk is positive energy. And on the other side, you know what that is. It's negative energy. It's devil, you know, demonic shit. And that person, like, and you gotta, when stuff like this happen, I try to just, you know, be like this person really woke up today and he had a mission, you know? He knew Charlie Kirk was going to be there. This is premeditated. You know, they say that they got a guy, but from information that I got from my wife, she was saying that you know, the shooter, the shot was taken from about 200 yards away. So if the shot was taken from 200 yards away, it's impossible that the person that they got that was, you know, at the event was the person. So we don't know yet exactly if they got the actual person. But no matter what, man, you know, it don't matter even if they, I mean, obviously you want them to get the person, you know, just for, you know, for him not to get away with this. But no matter what, man, you know, Charlie Kirk, 31 years old. You know what I mean? Doing so much, bro. So much positive shit. And this is what they want, bro. This is low vibration shit, bro. This is what they want, you know? And we're going to get into this next topic now about Chicago. About, you know, you got, you know, I showed the video the other day where they were, you know, basically, you know, street dudes, whatever, was talking about Trump, threatening Trump not to come to Chicago because we got switches and we, you know, all of this stuff. And I already let it be known, like, you know, you know, and I'm going to play some of the things that, you know, so basically people were commenting to making videos to that. So people are basically saying, like, you think that y'all are going to stop, you know, the National Guard or whatever. But the whole thing of it is this. The bigger picture is you got the governor and the mayor of Chicago out there stopping Trump from bringing the National Guard in to what? To stop people from dying. Trump is trying to save lives, but they're trying to put it as if he's trying to start martial law and he wants to take over. This is the beginning of the dictatorship. All goofy, dumb shit. If Donald Trump was a dictator, you think that he would listen to the rulings from the Supreme Court? Like, what are we talking about, man? But before we get into this next video, man, rest in peace, man, and my condolences to Charlie Kirk's, wife and kids and his family. And, we got to do better as a people, bro. You got to understand something, bro. Charlie Kirk ain't the enemy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump ain't the enemy, bro. There's bigger there's bigger people behind a lot of these type of things, bro. And all they're doing is using us as the vessels to do these demonic things. I'm just being honest with you, bro. I'm just being honest. It is what it is. They want to keep us divided, bro, because together we're stronger than any government will ever be. And that's a fact, and just so crazy, bro. I can't believe this. I can't believe I woke up to this today, bro. It's just wild, bro. You can't make it up, man. You really can't. But let's get into this next topic about Chicago.
Reporting live from R.I.P Club in Atlanta for R.I.P Plus News, I'm N.G.L.A. Over the last few weeks, the Trump administration has sparked several conversations on crime in highly urban cities like D.C., Baltimore, and Los Angeles. According to Trump, these cities have failed to handle their crime rate, and in response, Trump will send in the National Guard into D.C. to help. Now, many have opposed the use of the military being used against civilians, while others have cheered on the move, pointing out how quickly things have improved. Just a few days ago, on his Truth Social platform, Trump would now threaten Chicago as the next city he may have to bring the National Guard or military to. He will go on to write, "I love the smell of deportation in the morning. Chicago about to find out why it's called the Department of War." He would then go on to share a picture of himself on the body of an Army general. Now, the president's words were definitely alarming for those in Chicago, including the city's own mayor, who would directly respond to the message on his X account. The president's threats are beneath the honor of our nation, but the reality is that he wants to occupy our city and break our constitution. We must defend our democracy from this authoritarianism by protecting each other and protecting Chicago from Donald Trump. Outside of political figures in Chicago reacting to Trump's threats, those who are accused of being directly connected to the crime would respond. Over on TikTok, videos will begin to circulate of gang members and so-called thugs explaining that Chicago will not comply so easily like other cities.
Man, Trump talking about something Chicago about to find out why it's called the Department of War. Nick.
Yo, real quick, right? Real quick. Before we get into before we get into that, man. Yo. That's what I'm talking about. Do you see what I'm saying about the message? They're saying that he's trying to basically take over Chicago. This is the type of talk that people really believe in, bro. Yo, words are powerful, bro, and people are easily manipulated into thinking that the things that these people say are true. Meanwhile, when you look at the bigger picture, Donald Trump is trying to deport who? Illegal immigrants, right? Not legal Americans, illegal immigrants, right? That's one component that's been going on since he's been in office, right? And he's trying to stop crime, murders, home invasions, carjackings, all of these different things that have been going on in Chicago, right? And other places too, in mostly blue states. So let me get this straight. You're mad. Your mayor and governor is mad because Donald Trump is seeing the deaths. That pastor from Chicago said it was 250 something deaths in 233 days this year. He's trying to stop that. He's not trying to come and rip, working people out of their homes off the street and jail them because he wants to be a dictator. He wants to stop crime. He wants people to feel safe in their communities. And what people like this young boy right here don't understand is he's trying to save you from yourself. Right? Because if you're one of the people who goes out and commits murders, he's trying to stop you from going to prison. You know what I mean? If you in that culture and that lifestyle, he's trying to stop you from getting killed. Right? Like, bro, really think about this shit. Really think about it. But does the mayor say, hey, we do have a crime problem? We do have black bodies mostly dying on a regular in our inner cities. You know what, Donald Trump? I see that you want to stop. I see you want to help us stop this crime that's going on. You know what? We welcome you to Chicago, and we'll do whatever we have to do. It doesn't matter if it's the National Guard, the FBI, the CIA, whoever it takes to get things better. But understand something, bro. These are the very people who created this, who helped create this. Like, this shit be so deep, bro. It goes so deep, bro, that it's crazy, man. Trying to save people from themselves, from going to prison, from another body being dropped in the streets like it's nothing, and people they're in the uproar about it. You got all of these old white Democrat people in the streets protesting about business that ain't got nothing to do with you. Are you committing crimes? Right? Or do you have to live in a city where these things happen on a regular? But they want to get out there and act like they're fighting, but they're not doing this willingly. These people are bought and paid for it, bro. Bought and paid for it. By the George Soroses. They're bought and paid for it, bro. So you see these protesting in the news, in the MSDNCs of the media will show you this. To you look like people are actually standing for something that's against a monster. Donald Trump is a monster. He's trying to be the king. What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about, bro? People out here fighting for causes that they don't even understand. That's why when you got guys like, I played a few videos of his, James Klug, and he asked people simple questions. How is Donald Trump a dictator? How, what's wrong with deporting illegal immigrants? He asked them, they don't have anything. It's sad, bro. It's really sad, bro. It's sad, man. This is crazy, bro.
Nigga, you about to find out why it's called direct. The fuck, goofy ass nigga? We ain't scared of this shit.
Trump, do not send the National Guard to Chicago, gang. Do not, I repeat, do not do it. We are a different fucking breed out here, nigga. We are not Los Angeles. Nigga, we are not Washington, D.C. Nigga, this is Chicago, nigga. Them niggas go fight back. I'm telling you, them niggas go fight back, gang. Whatever, I don't give a fuck what you talking about. Them young niggas got switches, gang. They not going for that shit, bro. I know a bunch of y'all finna say, oh, it's the National Guard. They can't do anything about it. They must go in Chicago. Nigga, do y'all know that it's more bad people than good people, bro? There are over 100,000 gangs in Chicago.
Let me tell y'all something personally, bro. Trump, I don't know why the f*** you think that these young niggas in Iraq finna be scared. They ain't scared no The National Guard, shorty, they ass is not playing out here, boy. The National Guard should be scared of them. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's what they be wrong. These YNs pull up to the police station with switches. You know what I'm saying? Drakes, everything, shorty. Right in front of the station. I know exactly what I said, bro. No capping. So it's like, this shit crazy. These little niggas crazy, boy.
Now, these threats made by gang members in Chicago to the National Guard will cause many black users online to now chime in and share how ridiculous they felt their logic was.
Are y'all serious? Do y'all really think that y'all can take on the U.S. military? Bro, the military overtakes countries, bro. Y'all are a small portion of Chicago, bro. And y'all talk about y'all got switches. A switch is so dumb. A switch is like a waste of bullets, bro. And y'all thinking because it shoots really fast, bro.
So we got Chicago's gangsters and thugs saying they got switches for Trump's National Guard. Let's entertain that for maybe 2 seconds, right? First off, you think they don't know what you guys got? Where do you think those switches came from?
I know what's so funny to me is the fact that we got people on TikTok and the people of Chicago saying that they're not scared of the National Guard. Which, okay, you may not be scared of the National Guard or whatever the case may be, but I'm going to tell y'all something. The National Guard definitely ain't scared of y'all, and the National Guard definitely don't mind bringing their ass to Chicago and shutting that whole city down. And the only reason these people saying this is because Trump said that they're going to find out what he did with D.C. and they're going to do the same thing in Chicago. And I guess the people of Chicago feeling some type of way. The dudes talking about some, oh, we got switches, we ain't scared of the National Guard, we got all this, we got all that. As if this not the U.S. military that y'all talking about. I guarantee you, them folks start bringing those tanks and bringing those grenade launchers to the streets. There is absolutely nothing that y'all people can do to the National Guard once they get to Chicago. I'm going to tell you that now. These are trained professionals that we're talking about here. These people specialize in that type of activity in the active war each and every day.
A part of these responses, black soldiers have also spoken out to explain why gang members going against the military is a bad idea.
I pray to Christ Jesus himself that this video reach the vast majority of the thugs and hooligans in Chicago that truly believe that you're going to do anything to the United States military. Mind you, we're not even bringing Green Berets or Navy SEALs or Special Forces, right? It's National Guard. It usually happens when an administration feels like a city or a place within the United States it just adds civil unrest, right? Because we do defend the country from enemies, foreign and domestic, right? But let me speak to the people that think they're gonna do something to the military. Please, I advise you do not do it, right? I'm all for peace. I'm all for the right thing. Please do not put yourself in a position where you fall for the trap. Please don't think that you're gonna.
Yo, what he just said so much. Please don't fall for the trap. Because that's what it is, bro. It's a trap. It's a trap for more black bodies to drop in the streets. Do you think these people, you think your governor and mayor truly care about you, bro? If they truly cared about you, bro, your city wouldn't look the way it looked. You wouldn't think the way you think. I tell people, bro, if you... bro... This ain't the life you chose, bro. Period. This was an environment that you grew up in that was created on purpose. Understand that, bro. Listen, I am of that environment, bro. I've been in the trenches. I sold drugs. I've been an addict, all of that. Homeless. I've been up, been down, been to prison, been to jail. I'm a product of that. And I'm here to tell you, that shit corny. It's whack. It's whack. It's corny. And I don't know if it's an age thing. It's as you get older, you get more mature. But it's I can't even say that. But it's just an environmental thing, bro, that they created. They created this monster. You got a military dude telling you straight, listen, they not even bringing the Navy SEALs, Marines, like special forces. They bringing the National Guard who still, these people are trained professionals, bro. You think you're gonna go up against that, bro? And for what? That's what it's all gonna boil down to for me. For what? For what? You think they're the enemy? Bruh. We so dumb. It's not even funny, bro. And this is what made me get into this podcast space, right? Because I want to say something real. I want to say something because also in them comments, right, from that video, so it's like I said, it was more positive than negative. But in the negative ones, like for one of them, one of the people said that, you could tell by my song, cause on my intro, that's me rapping, right? It's a song that I did with my guy, Ducci Bass. Shout out to him. And we did a song, and on that part of the song that I used for my intro, I said, I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean. That's real shit. That was me. See, people think that I'm talking about our people, which I am, but I'm also talking about me first. Because I gave up the basketball career. I gave up the education that I could have got, right? I could have went to college, full ride. But I gave that up, to live like a rock star. You know what I mean? And to be in the streets and to go to jail, prison, multiple times. So when I make my music, I'm relating it to our people, but I'm also relating it to my story. You know what I mean? This ain't a, shout out to, Officer Tatum, people like him. He not a street dude. He probably came up maybe, from the hood, maybe, I'm not sure. But he was like a cop. He was the opposite of what I am. You feel what I'm saying? So when he's talking about the street culture, when he's talking about, his people, it's different from me talking about it. Because I was one of the people that he be talking about. You feel what I'm saying? I was on the other side of it. You know what I mean? And I'm here, and I'm telling you, shit whack. It's corny. And it's all a trap, like he said. All the shit that I was doing was exactly what they wanted me to do. Because I was one less person. Because, listen, understand something. When you go to jail, when you get felonies, you lose rights. You lose certain rights that we get as Americans, right? Like the right to bear arms legally, right? Which is very important because that was put into place just in case you do have a tyrannical government, right? And you could protect your home and you could protect your family. That's one of the components of why the right to bear arms was even put in place. You know what I'm saying? So you lose that right legally to protect your family if, God forbid, something happened, right? And you lose certain privileges to have certain jobs unless you like me trying to create your own way. So it's not to say that if you go to jail and prison and you have felonies that you can't make it in life, because you can. You for sure can. For sure. Big facts, And like I said, I'm a product of that. So if I told you the life you live in ain't the life you chose, would you believe me? Most people would look at me and say, you bugging. I do what I want to do. I'm living the life that I'm choosing. I'm choosing to be a gangster. I'm choosing to be in the streets. I'm choosing to sell drugs, be a drug dealer. I'm choosing that. I don't know, big guy. I don't know. Because you didn't create drugs. Black people didn't create drugs. So if we didn't create it and it was put there, then did I really choose it? Did I really choose to sell drugs? Or was the drugs put there in a place where people are poor and this is an easy way for me to make money? That sounds more like it to me. But on the flip side, the people who put it there, this is a win-win for them. Not only do bodies drop from overdoses, people dying from doing the drugs, and families dying from the drugs. You got black men, Spanish, minorities getting locked up on a regular basis, and the jails is full with them. I've been there. I live in New Jersey. That's just one state, and that's just one prison. I've been in multiple of them, but just in my vicinity alone, it's about 5-6 prisons. That's not including Pennsylvania and all of the rest of the states who have prisons all across the nation filled with who? Minorities, people of color. It's a fact. So when you look at that, do you think that this is by your choice or do you think it's by design? Come on, bro. What are you talking about, man?
You're going to intimidate people that can pinpoint where you keep your weapons at, locate who your family is in a matter of half of a nanosecond. We have homing missiles that can track you down and put a quarter of a hole in your chest before you realize it. I'm asking all the thugs and hooligans to be civil. Be civil and just do the right thing.
Y'all heard what they saying about, telling Trump, don't send the National Guard here. We got switches, da-da-da-da-da, right? Y'all think y'all warning them by saying they don't shoot well, that they don't have the same weaponry. They know that. However, you got to understand the generation that we're dealing with. They're not looking at that as advice. They're looking at that as a challenge. And while many of you think you have a one-up or you're, really putting YNs in their place, you're really not. And what you're doing is you are issuing a challenge to them. You got to remember, as service members, we are governed by the UCMJ. Guess what YNs are governed by? The streets. They don't have the same rules that we have. Please stop feeling like y'all flexing up on these Chicago YNs, bro. Because it's not cool. And it's not the flex that y'all think it is. Oh, y'all think y'all got 5.56s and all of these rounds and y'all can't shoot and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. What I'm saying is the D1 crash outs in the hood, they don't care nothing about critical thinking.
Yeah.
All they see is a mission.
Now, according to the mayor's office, crime in Chicago has significantly decreased in recent years. Specifically, Chicago has seen a 33% reduction in homicides and a 38% reduction in shootings. This summer saw 123 homicides with 278 total homicides through August 31st, 2025, compared to 2021 reports, reflecting that summer of 2021 saw 274 homicides in Chicago alone, with 805 for the full year. Now, it appears that things have already improved in Chicago, but it is still for...
Bro. See, that sounds good. It sounds cute, right? But the fact that we're trying to minimize the situation by saying that things are getting better, that, 270 people died like a couple years ago, but now it was only like 123. So honestly, it's better. As in, just think about that, bro. It's better. What are you talking about? It's not that many. As if not one is too many, bro. One is too many, bro. It's crazy.
For some considered to have some work to do in regards to crime. So what are your guys' thoughts about Trump's possible move in on Chicago, and should gang members there be worried by these threats? Stay up to date for the latest news in comedy, culture, and sports by subscribing.
I'm going to tell you this, man. I do agree with the last guy as far as, I do agree with him as far as these niggas is crash out motherfuckers. And that's how they're gonna look at it. Like it's a challenge. Trump think he gonna do this and do that, man. We gonna bang it out with them niggas, man. Fuck you talking about, like, boy, they come out here, boy, they gonna, like, I'm just saying, bro, at the end of the day, bro, we just gotta do better, bro. Like, for me, like, I really was the guy, right? I was the guy. I used to be in the day room, right? And it was times where I'd just be sitting on the steps, right? I'm in the day room, I'm in the county. I'm not even downstate yet. But even downstate, I used to look in the yard, same thing. And I used to just look around. And I used to be like, damn. Like, I was on 5 North A in Camden County, right? And I'm like, at the time, this is before they started doing two people to a cell. It used to be 4. 2 people on the floor, 2 people on the bunks. It was illegal. For years, they was doing it, though. And then they changed it because they got sued. And so anyway, at this time, it was 4 people to a cell. So I'm on 5 North A, and it's like 114 of us, something like that, on one unit. And this is just one tier in the whole jail. It's 2 floors. So I used to just be looking around. I used to just be like, same thing with downstate in the yard. I used to be looking around. I used to be like, damn, 90% of the people in here is black. It's really like 95, to be honest. But let's be nice and say 90. And 10% is, white people. And I used to just be like, out of all of these people, I would say 85% of them have kids. And then I would say about 65% of them have more than one kid. And I used to just be like, these are all kids growing up without their dad in their life. And then I started, and this is what really made me change. What really made me change was I started, because I was really into, and when I went to jail, I read a lot. It was the first time in my life where I actually read books. And I used to read, autobiographies on, Frederick Douglass and, just a lot of, famous black people from back in the day and shit like that. And, it made me think like, damn, yo, we really shitting on our ancestors who actually went through real racism, who actually got lynched, the Emmett Tills of the world, who got killed just for being black. And that's one of the components that really made me be like, yo, I'm done with this life, because they actually fought for us to have the freedoms that we have today. And now we just volunteering for this shit. And that's why I said the life you chose ain't the life you're living, ain't the life you chose, because this was all by design. It was all by design. They built the prisons. They created the systems that we fall for every single day so we can fill them prisons up. But the bigger picture isn't even to put you in jail. It's to take you from your family, from your children, because they care about the children. They understand human behavior. They understand a child that doesn't have a father has an 80% chance to go to prison, to follow that same path. They understand, bro. This is what they do. This is what they do, bro. So when I see us, and I'm like, damn, and like I said, I was flirting with death for years. And that's all we're doing is floating with death. And it's like, for what, bro? You don't want to live? You know what I'm saying? You don't want to see your son graduate? That's cool. We celebrate niggas coming home from jail, bro. From prison, from being a criminal. We celebrate that where we from. Why not celebrate being the father? Why not celebrate, watching your kids graduate? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many big. Why not celebrate you starting a business? Like, we got to start celebrating things that matter, bro. Because, bro, we're we're losing so much, bro. We're losing so much. So when motherfuckers hop in the comments and talk about, oh, you're a black guy who, you're talking about the first black president, talking about Obama, because I don't agree. Mind you, I voted for Obama, dog. I was you. And he was talking about I'm ignorant. No, what's ignorant is voting for Obama just because he's black, and that's what I did. That's ignorant. Not because of the policies, not because he's a good president for Americans, not because of, him, changing the trajectory of what's going on in the hood, all across, in every hood. I voted for Obama because he was black, like 95% of Americans did. So I'm ignorant. Yeah. And what's crazy is, dog, I'm not a Republican, dog. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not any of that shit. I don't even like government, dog. Only thing I like government for is law and order, dog. Because we need that. If not, then you just got chaos, bro. Outside of that, I don't like the government, dog. Niggas be acting like I'm fighting for Donald Trump or something, dog. I don't know Donald Trump. All I know is this, is that before 2016, everybody fucked with Donald Trump for years. I'm talking about he was in hella songs, people on every outlet, The View, all of them. Love Donald Trump. Oprah loved Donald Trump. Was Donald Trump's friend. The moment he ran for president was when all of that changed. So you got to say to yourself, why? So when I came home this time and I wanted to get into the podcast space and I started looking at just everything. So I followed. It's the first time in my life I followed an election on both sides. And I voted for Donald Trump because the other candidate was just not it. I showed you the videos of Kamala Harris. She's not it. It's just what it is. But the bigger picture for us, dog, is that we need to change the narrative. That's why I fuck with Wallow, right? Because it's not about criticizing our people. I don't want to criticize our people. I don't want to try to make it seem like I love I love a lot of shit about our culture. Bro, what Nipsey say? He said, call us dumb niggas because our culture is contagious. It is. It's contagious, bruh. It really is. But at the same time, it's a lot of negative shit. And that's why I love Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle was a nigga trying to change people's thought process. Like, yo, like we need to get educated on this business. You know what I mean? He was trying to give back to his community, open up stores right in the hood and show people literally in their face that, yo, this is what we could do. That's what it's about for me. When you hear niggas like Wallow speak and he, letting you know, like, bro, this shit is, that's why I showed that video of him talking about his brother, because he's a product of it. He's a product of it. So it's not coming from a dude who is just talking because he got a degree in fucking human behavior or something. Nah, this dude been through it. Lost his brother to the streets. And he did 20 joints. I did 8 joints. We understand that this shit is corny. It's just corny. It's just what it is. And we love our cities. We love the hood, but we also want better for the hood. We want better for the people. And the only way we get better is if we have these tough conversations, bro. So when niggas make comments like that, you know what? I just reply. Appreciate the comment, bro. I truly do. I appreciate the comment, bro. You don't got a bunch of videos you could comment on and watch. You watch my shit and you comment, I appreciate it. Even if you didn't fuck with the content. You know what I'm saying? And I just simply said, dog, I voted for Obama. I voted for him. I'm just letting you know that I actually, did some homework on, like, damn, what did Obama actually do for us? What did he actually do for our people? The people who gave him the seat in the White House. He did nothing, bro. He was signing legislation for, LGBTQ and gay marriage. Like, told when they asked him, I told you, and I'm gonna show it, bro. I'm gonna show it. It's a video of him, and a reporter asked him, why can't he do something directly for black people? And he said, that's not how it works. And I'm not gonna say verbatim, but he said basically that's not how America works. He said something along them lines. But then turned around and did something directly for LGBTQ and gay marriage and all of that, and then also did something directly for the Native Americans. And what he did for them, I'm not fully sure what he did, but I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm just saying that don't say that you can't, because you can. You just didn't want to, because they love the destruction that's going on in our hood, in the hood, and in our cities, bro. They love it. They love it. They love it. You know what I mean? It's crazy, bro. It truly is, bro. But let's get into this.
And you believe in banning?
Let's get into this video with.
And you believe in banning abortions, right?
I'm pro-life, yes.
Ben Shapiro.
Even in cases of incest and rape?
Yes.
Why?
Because this is a sort of a fundamental definitional question. If you believe life begins at conception, then regardless of the source of the life, it now has an independent interest in life. So that is not to minimize the tremendous evil of rape or incest. I believe rapists should be executed, frankly, or chemically castrated at best. But that's sort of a different question from the independent source of life, and whether this, again, it gets back to definitions. And this conversation tends to be either you're on one side of that or the other. If you don't believe life begins at conception, then obviously you believe abortion is acceptable in a wide variety of circumstances. If you believe it's an independent life deserving of protection, then you believe it's an independent life deserving of protection.
Lauren, what do you think about that? I'm just as a woman.
I think that a woman should be able to choose to do what she wants to do wherever she decides to do it. I believe that women should be able to abort babies if they want to, if they feel like that's what they need to do.
Do you have a time limit on that, out of curiosity?
I mean, I think it should happen earlier on if it were me making a decision for myself.
Yo, what up,
I think
cuz?
it's up to the woman and what she's personally experiencing and what she personally went through. I really think it's a per person thing. That's why I think it's crazy when you have like these structures and these like people who are not in that situation.
So I know that, the Breakfast Club is like it's a national radio station. So whenever you play something like that, for some reason, bro, it's so weird. Because this video in particular I got from the actual Ben Shapiro's page. It was like a clip of it. But for some reason, it is okay. For some reason it's saying that it's detecting, like, basically they might shut my video off. But let's play it just a little more, and then I'm gonna take it out.
Can't do, because it's very like per person. My situation might be different than.
Matter of fact, let's do this. Because if I take it off, it should give me some time, and then I can fast forward it. It's so weird though, because I don't understand what I'm doing wrong as far as like I said, my thing is, under the Fair Use Act, you can use certain videos. If you shout out the video, say you don't own the rights. That's why before my video, I put in there I don't own the rights to, the content of these videos. All rights is reserved for the original content creators. And for some reason though, when I play certain videos, it's giving me this John. I'm like, bro, I don't understand why it's doing that. I chopped the video up. I took the Breakfast Club icon. I covered it. It's so weird. But I want to play this video. Just a little bit of it. Come on. All right. Hold on real quick. Let me see something. All right, there we go. All right. So let's see if we can get through a little bit of this, John.
And you believe in banning abortions, right?
Do you have a time limit on that, out of curiosity?
I mean, I think it should happen earlier on if it were me making a decision for myself. But I think it's up to the woman and what she's personally experiencing and what she personally went through. I really think it's a per person thing. That's why I think it's crazy when you have like these structures and these like people who are not in that situation making the decision for the woman of what you can and can't do, because it's very like per person. My situation might be different than another woman who's sitting next to me.
Right. So again, this is sort of the definitional issue that we're talking about, because you're talking about what a woman should be allowed to do. And what I'm talking about is the definition of personhood of the separate person inside the woman. I think that what I push on is why do you personally believe that a woman should have an abortion earlier?
I think just from personal experience, I've been in a situation. I just think emotionally and mentally, it's less that you think about, but it does depend on how you think of when the life is formed or you know, should be looked at as like a life that you
right. So that
yeah.
I think is the big question, and that's where the disconnect is.
But what I'm saying is that's always going to be different for each person.
But I don't think that the subjective definition of life is how we define life, meaning that you being uncomfortable with a woman having an abortion in the 9th month, you're saying that just because you're uncomfortable with it, that doesn't mean that you should stop a woman from doing that. My point is that life has a definition, right? We all agree, for example, that a 1-month-old baby should not be drowned. Right, we all agree on that, and that's not up to the personal. Should not be drowned. You shouldn't take the baby and drown it in a bathtub, right? And the question is, well, why? Because we now understand that the 1-month-old baby, everyone agrees with this, right? That except for Peter Singer at Princeton, that a 1-month-old baby has an independent interest in life.
All right, man. So obviously,
so you believe in banning abortion?
It's not going to allow me to play the video. It's going to cut my video. So instead of doing that, what I'm going to do is I just played a little bit of it. So you basically get a gist of, they was talking about abortion and different things. And I played that because I played that because I just wanted to show the ideology of people, right? He's pro-life and you got people that's not pro-life. And the fact of the matter is that we have come to a place in America specifically, bro, where people have been manipulated to the point where when you ask them a simple question of what a woman is, like what's a woman? We have come to that point in America, and the response to that is that if a man feels like a woman, he's a woman. Like, what? Then you got all of these other things like pronouns, they, them, him, her. Like, I'm non-binary. I don't identify as a man or a woman. So what do you identify as? A fucking owl? Like, what are you talking about? This is what yo, bro. Yo, like some of these conversations that's happening is so crazy to me, bro. Like even what they're talking about, right? With the whole abortion thing, right? Do you understand that this was started to basically cause a genocide against black people? They literally have all black abortion clinics. I haven't seen any all white ones yet. I haven't seen it. But I have seen all black abortion clinics. That's crazy. And, you know, this is no disrespect to the woman that was on the Breakfast Club. I forget her name. But she be alongside Jess Hilarious or whatever. And I don't know if she replaced her, actually. I think she might have replaced her, I believe. I've seen something about that. But anyway, she is saying the same talking point that they have been manipulated to use, which is a woman should be able to do what she wants with her body. And what they're not understanding is, because they think that it's all about control over a woman, when it's like, nah, it's just like that baby that's in your stomach deserves life. You know? And the part that blows my shit the most about this conversation is you have them pushing so much. A woman should do what she wants. The government should not be able to tell you to do what you want with your body. A woman should be able to do what she wants with her body. So they push a woman to be independent in that thinking, right? But truly, they're just pushing you to kill your child. When there's so many other alternatives. That's the point. You will never hear them talk about the alternatives. Like adoption. Like you could literally give your child up. And somebody will gladly, who cannot have children and just want to adopt, add to their family. You can literally do that. Like that's an option. Like that's on the table at all times. All across the country. It's on the table. Like you literally can do that. But they're telling you not to do that. They're telling you to just get rid of it. They talk about it as if it's not a person, a human, a life, a soul. And they don't push responsibility. They don't push that. And that's why you have I've even seen, Charlie Kirk have these conversations and they'll say, so I'm supposed to give up my career and my life because I got pregnant? What? And Charlie Kirk simply says, you play certain games, you get certain prizes. Simple. When you have sex to reproduce, to have children. So that's literally what can happen if you let somebody nut in you. So why not use a condom? That's the responsible thing to do. Tell the man to use a condom. Hey, I don't want to have it. I'm not ready for that. I'm being responsible. So you won't have to use a condom, my bruh. Or hold on. It's 2025. Technology is crazy. It's crazy. You got AI, you got motherfuckers building robots and all types of shit. Oh shit, they got birth control. You can control your birth. Oh nah, but I don't like the side effects of the birth control because when I be on it, then I be like, man, I be in the. But like, you don't think that that's like more responsible to be on birth control versus you literally getting knocked up once a year and using Plan Bs and all of this other stuff? Or actually going to get an abortion, which is really, I'm not a woman, obviously, but I heard it's like not pretty, bro. It's not pretty, bro. The things that they do to the baby is outrageous. It's like sad, bro. And then what you're putting what you putting your body through is even wilder. So my thing is, I just rather just promote being responsible, bro. How about we just take accountability for like our actions and the things we do, bro? Like it's just that simple. I'm having another baby, back to back. It's by design. I wanted it. I'm being responsible. That's what you do, bro. You sitting here. Like people are really bro, you had Kamala Harris, right? Kamala Harris, who has no children. She has none of her own. She chose career and chasing to be the president of the United States over having a family. So she will not experience. So how can you let a person who has no children tell you about a decision that you should make about children? Like, bro, it's crazy, bro. But understand, my biggest thing is it literally was started by Margaret Sanger to cause a genocide against the black community. And now when you look at the stats, at the statistics on who are the people who get abortions the most, is who? Black people. And I'm talking about millions a year are being done. And it's like crazy, bro. So, man, if y'all want to check that video out, go to the Breakfast Club or go to Ben Shapiro's page, and he got it posted. To check that whole video out with Ben Shapiro went on. But, you know, like, it's nothing wrong with that, though. At the end of the day, I'm not like, yo, fuck her. She's a fucking a retard. She believe. Like, that's her opinion, and that's fine. But you didn't see Ben Shapiro like going crazy, like, what? Like, are you crazy? Like, are you like, no, he's just having a conversation that's needed with the Breakfast Club. And what's funny is also that DJ Envy, right? He says, he asks the question of, do you believe in abortion? He said, no, I'm pro-life. But what about, and they always bring up the like, I had a whole argument with my cousin about this, and she literally brought up the one exception, right? And obviously Ben Shapiro said, well, even in that case, because, and he was just talking about the science of it, like, this person is still still a human, is still an independent person, you know what I'm saying? And they deserve to live. So that was his point on it. It's nothing wrong with that, but they always bring up the grape thing. They always bring it up, bro. Oh, well, what about grape? It's like, bro, what? Like, why do they always gotta go to the thing that just is not common? Most people that are having abortions are having it because, you know, they might be in college, too young, different things, but it's not because of that. The majority of abortions that are happening is not because of that, bro. It's just not. But they always go right to that, you know, always, bro. And then the second is that one. That's the favorite one. And then is, you know, I think a woman should be able to do what she wants with her body. And it's like, they just missed the whole point. They missed the whole point. Just tell women, why not promote? You know how much of better outcomes that we would have if we just promote healthy shit. Like, if the Breakfast Club and DJ Envy and Charlamagne the God just promote being responsible, bro. Just strap up, bro. Just, I mean, use protection. You know, go get birth control if you don't want to use condoms. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not promoting that. Instead, we're promoting, just go get an abortion, bro. You know, crush the baby's skull. Like, you know, they use a vacuum. And, like, bro, it's just crazy, bro. So it's just sad, bro. It's sad, bro. The times that we're in is definitely a sad one, bro. But, you know, shout out to Ben Shapiro, the Breakfast Club, you know. Shout out to Chicago, man, the Windy City. Hopefully that these young boys don't act like Rambo and people lose their lives because of dumb shit, man, you know. And once again, man, you know, damn. May God, man, you know, enter Charlie Kirk into paradise, man, for real. You know? And condolences to his family. Again, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, dog. Like, for real. God do better out here, man. Shit getting real, super wicked. And yeah, man, it's your boy SL550, man. It's the N.G.L.A podcast, man. We never gonna lose again. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe to the channel, because I truly, truly do appreciate it. And not because the content is dope, but because it costs you nothing. I'm laughing because somebody know. But anyway, I'll holler at y'all, man. I'm out.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
a poor man prayers.
Every man bleeds,
but look how God made us.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. Yeah, I made a promise I'm never gonna lose again.